Amanda Francis sits down, looks you dead ass in the face, Kyle and Erika, and goes, yeah, I have no reason to go to this woman's party. She made my summer horrible, but I want the best things for her. I want her to have financial freedom. I want her to have something where she earns her own money. I want that good feeling for her. I'm going to go. Amanda fucking Francis says that. And these women they don't pick up on it like, you should have gone because of these reasons. You're not mature enough to go, this is my friend for 20 years, my friend for 9 years. I can't want something good for her. I'm going to be immature and a total fucking brat.
Listener discretion advised. Adult language and mature content.
Welcome back, everybody. It is Two Queens, One Screen. I'm Jen.
I'm Keeley.
And we are talking boat show, how murders work in the court. Not murdering in the court. No. Have there been murders in court? Like, do people get murdered in court? I'm sure it happens.
Yes.
That's dark. That's a different show, though. We're just talking about, Keeley's going to kind of walk us through a couple of the cases that we've talked about and kind of where they are and what that process looks like from inside the court's view, which I think I'm really excited about. And then we'll talk about I'm a dum-dum, the actual season finale of Real Housewives, Beverly Hills. I thought it was done. It was not done. We still had one more, right? This one, the finale was rough. So I just caught up on Boat Show.
Okay, Boat Show, if everybody doesn't know, is Below Deck. This is what we're talking about.
We're particularly watching Down Under.
Down Under, season
with
4.
Captain Jason.
Yes.
And we've got Daisy, we got Ben, we got Joao as the head of departments.
Yes.
I am loving the season. This season's gotten really good, I think.
Yes.
Because it was a slow start, but
yes,
it's always a slow start, but the season's gotten really good. We had talked about before kind of like what was going on with Ben and Ellie and how Ben had been calling her sweetie honey. And I kind of went through how I felt about it, especially because I have worked in restaurants and my experience with that. I finally watched the episode.
Okay.
I saw her getting frustrated about it. Okay. I saw her talking to Joao.
Okay.
She hadn't had a full freak out of Ben, and then I saw her have the full freak out of Ben and then go stomping through the boat.
Yes.
I still think she has a very valid point. I am still on her side. I think Ben was not professional. I think her freak out was unprofessional, but also that's what I know of Ellie. You remember I had said, I was like, I didn't really love her before. I didn't love her in the last season, and this is the version of Ellie that I am used to. I also think that she's still, even though she had that freak out, I still think she's better than she was last time I saw her.
Okay.
Which is really saying something, right?
Good to know.
And I think that after the fact, I think Ben has taken the note, and I think he's trying really hard.
Yes, agree.
I'm very happy with Ben's response. I thought he was going to continue to like be a dick, and he's not.
That's
and I'm
good.
very proud of him for that.
I think that shows maturity, that you can take that and do something different, right? We're going to actually learn and not continue that behavior. And whether you agree with it or not, or whatever your excuse for the behavior or not, all of that put aside, that person has that issue, and we're not going to do that with that person. And I love that. That's a mature response.
Well, I hope he's mature, because he's like in his mid 40s. Like at this point, he needs to get his shit together. But the show is just nuts. And Ellie, God bless her, being so into Joao. I love that she lays it on thick. I love how she flirts. And it's so sad that Joao isn't like totally into it back, because I want that for her. But also she's like, "Oh, did you just want a massage?" And he's like, "Sure, as friends." He didn't say that, but that's in his mind what he did.
Yeah.
I feel so badly because I think he thinks he's not leading her on, but he 100% was leading her on when he had that conversation where he's like, takes her aside and is like, we're friends, and I don't want to, we have something here, and I don't want to ruin what we have, and I just want to keep it like just really low stakes. And she's like, "So you mean you don't want to be my boyfriend, but you might fool around with me?"
Right.
Is how she took it. And he did not at all communicate correctly.
No, I have a lot of very heightened feelings about Joao.
Okay, tell me all your feelings.
First of all, I'm a little sad to watch a woman just chasing this man and throwing herself at this man. And it makes me a little uncomfortable. I don't operate that way. In my mind, it really doesn't make common sense, because either one or the other person would show some interest, and then the other person would reciprocate some interest back. And then you would have that kind of chasing thing, right? With Eddie and Jenna, this back and forth, right? Thing.
Yeah.
But she is just going full bore at Joao. And I agree with what you said. I'm very upset at Joao because he absolutely did not communicate what he's communicating to everyone else. Literally the words, "I am not into her. I like Daisy." Literally, you need to have enough respect for this girl to say those words to her and not be a goddamn baby and cry and go, "I didn't want to hurt her feelings." Of course, nobody wants to hurt another person's feelings. No one wants that. We all know it's going to be upsetting to the opposite person you're saying it to. We all know that. You have to know that as a human being. But you have to be a goddamn, not a fucking pussy, and look at her and go, "I don't like you. I want," he doesn't even have to say he likes Daisy, but he did not do that. And then the next day he wakes up and he's hugging her and kissing her on the cheek.
When she has her like full freak out, and then he's like holds her hand to walk back after they have the conversation. And she's like, no, we're back on. We're just like not boyfriend, girlfriend.
What are you doing?
He was a coward. 100% a coward.
Bad.
But, and I'm not, he's a coward. Also, as someone who, so did you see the season where you didn't see her previous season, right?
No.
So do you remember Joe, who was hooking up with V in, I think it was Sandy below deck?
No.
I think it was Mediterranean.
It sounds familiar, but I can't picture his face.
Okay, Joe's like this hot Italian guy, but he's actually from the UK, but
maybe I do. Okay, no, I do know him. Yes.
And then he was with V, whose boyfriend died, and then he was fooling around. He did the same fucking thing to Ellie and this other, like, Stu.
Okay.
Who was, like, 20.
Okay. I didn't like him.
No.
I didn't like him.
No, and Ellie could have sunk the ship. Like, it was, she did not like it. It was not good.
Okay.
Ellie also gets really intense about hierarchy on the ship.
Yeah.
Like, I think if she had stayed as Stu, she and, oh God, wait, what's her name? The actual second Stu.
Oh, no, Jenna. Right?
Jenna? Yeah, Jenna. Yeah.
Jenna.
They would have been like this.
Oh, okay.
It would have been so bad. Like the little bit that we just saw about like where we stand in line.
Yeah.
Would have been it would have been so much worse if she was a Stu.
Okay.
I think that Joao knows a little bit, like, I think he was a little afraid. He still needed to be upfront and direct. Yeah. And that sucks.
If Mike and also had not said anything, we would still be doing this dance. I'm not really a fan of Mike. He's very messy.
I hate Mike so much.
very messy. But if he had not done that, we would still be doing this dance. And I can't. Joao was driving me insane. And Daisy needs some godly ascension to heaven because of how wonderful and patient. And I'm not a Daisy. I am not a Daisy. Just, why are you sad? You need to go talk to him. Going to Joao, you need to clear it up. Nothing about her. Nothing.
No.
Daisy never says one thing about how she feels and, it's upsetting to her. And she'll say in her confessionals, yeah, this sucks, but this is not what I do. And I just love that about her. But Joao crying, I can't with this man.
I think the crying was surprising to me. I'm wondering, like, is it just the alcohol? Is it embarrassment? Like, what the fuck is going on with...
Right.
Like, why are you crying? Yeah. I guess, like, you know what? We should be more supportive of men crying, but also,
sure.
This is a mess you made, sir.
Right.
You made this mess.
Yeah, that's the difference. Yes. I'm all for men crying. Absolutely. But no, he really absolutely is a coward and made this mess. Yes.
Let's talk about fucking Mike. I hate him. And, like, listen, I know that him saying stuff at least got that out in the open, but it's also like a broken clock is right twice a day. Like, that wasn't his intention. His intention wasn't to, like, get people to be honest with each other. His intention was to stir up the shit. That guy loves chaos, and he likes chaos that is shitty. The fact that he fucked up, I already didn't like him. But when he fucked up the surprise that the charter guest, the primary had set up, and he was like, oh, but he's got them. When he did that, I screamed. I was making zucchini banana bread in the kitchen while watching, and I went, did he fucking just do this? I could not believe. And the fact that Daisy didn't lose her fucking mind, all of the work that and then he goes, oh, no one told me. Bullshit, she told you when the charter was, when the charter was starting. I can't, I'm not Daisy. I'm heated about it right now.
Yes.
Because that is so much work. Yes. So much work. And then he went person to person of the guests and was like, please.
Oh my Lord. What?
That's not what Daisy meant by go charm.
No.
That's gross.
Yes.
Gross.
Sir. Yeah. Bad.
Oh,
super bad.
Hate him. And then also, I am irritated at... Oh, there goes again. What is wrong with my brain? The blonde one. The blonde girl. Alicia. Thank you. Alicia. I'm disappointed by her lack of growth this season.
Oh, God.
And I think the way that she was playing with Eddie sucks. I think the way that she's like not being a friend to Jenna for no good reason. Good reason. Yeah. Like, what did Jenna do to you? Jenna didn't do anything other than be herself and work really hard.
Yes.
Sorry. And like the stealing of the rainbow penis toy. What is that about?
I don't know. It's really childish and immature and just stupid. It's stupidity. I don't. Well, she can't get over her and Mike yelling at Daisy for Daisy to fix the fact that her and Mike don't get along. What are you? What? I have never seen that ever at any job I have ever had in my entire life. Never. Those two
sitting
drive
there
me insane,
bickering and poking at each other, and like, it just has gotten to the point that I'm wondering who's going to get fired. Like someone has to get fired at this point, if not both of them. And I like that Captain Jason is like, if we need to make a change, we'll make a change.
Yeah. Amazing.
When the chief stew, there's a lot of other seasons where the chief stew doesn't have a close relationship or hasn't built that trust yet with their captain. Captain Jason, I think, has very quickly gone like, whatever it is, I've got your back.
Yep.
And because I don't think that they've been on charter before. I think this is their first charter together, her and him and Daisy. And he's just like, I've got your back. You do a good job. And
Yep.
I will back you up. And he puts a lot of trust in them. There's been other relationships that don't go that smoothly between the captain and the head of departments.
Okay.
Whether just like how the captain runs his ship or, you know, whatever reason, maybe someone is doing a bad job. But Captain Jason, I think, like, goes, you're all adults, go do a good job. And if you need me, let me know what you need. And he's like the best boss. And I also like that he doesn't participate. They're like, you should come to the thing with us. And he's like, I'm not going on a catamaran with you. Absolutely
not doing that.
No.
No.
I like that about him. But I just, I'm wondering who's going to get fired, if not both of them.
Yeah.
Because that's petty shit that is affecting the guests. And people aren't doing a good job. Panty liners on the inside of a closet. First of all, who would do that?
Oh, yeah.
I think Mike did it. I don't think a former guest did it. I think Mike did it.
Oh, yuck. No, I agree.
It wasn't used. That was somebody being obnoxious.
Yeah.
And I don't think the charter before was an obnoxious group like that.
I don't think so.
I don't know. We'll see.
Boat show's the best.
Boat show's the best. What do you think of the love triangle of Eddie, Ben, and Jenna?
Oh, God. Jenna. You can absolutely, something changed with her. Watching it, that's just as a viewer, she was very into him. I think maybe because Alicia was there, and so that made her project, right? I want Eddie. It's upsetting to me. And so you could see that about her, that she liked him. She wanted to be with him. Something changed. Maybe Alicia not paying attention to Eddie. And now she's like, well, he's not my type anymore. I really like guys like Ben. I don't know what to do. Eddie's a safe bet because the last guy I had was like Ben and that didn't work out. So I'm just going to go with Eddie. I don't love that. As a woman, I don't love that. I don't know. It bothered me a lot. And then her sneaking into
I saw it
Ben's
a little differently.
room.
I think you might be right as far as like the Alicia. I don't think it was conscious. I don't think she went like, I want that because she has it, like Alicia is doing with the penis doll.
Yeah.
I think it was more along the lines of, I think that she liked the attention, which who hasn't?
Of course.
I think that's what it was. And then like the reality kind of sets in over time that like, oh, he's taking this very serious and he's giving me a lot of attention. And then she's like, then it kind of clicks like, she's also still getting attention from Ben. Ben's super fucking busy and doesn't have the time to take with her that Eddie has, I think. And Ben is like sequestered. But then when Ben does give her the attention, she's like, I'm getting the attention from both. And I think I really want the attention from Ben. But now she's already kind of gone down the line. I think that it's going to be sad for Eddie, but also they don't have enough in common. And I think when they went on that little date that he asked her on, I think she was like, no, I don't like
You
this.
can see that. You can tell.
It just turns.
And watching Eddie is one of those nice guys, right? He's got his hand on her leg, right? He's always trying to touch her. He's always trying to let her know that he's there, that he's thinking about her, right? Saying things like, if, you know, I'm thinking about when we get married and how do you think about that? She's like, I'm not, you know. And he is the epitome of why people say good guys, right, always, you know, get shit on and women don't like quote unquote good guys. I think it's just the wrong woman. That's right. The right woman is going to love that. The right person is going to love all of that. I want that for Eddie. I don't want Eddie to change. He's a beautiful person, right? Whatever he does.
malicious for Eddie.
No.
I think it's very immature, though. Have you ever seen the movie 500 Days of Summer?
Yes.
Eddie is that character. Eddie is not picking up on the signals that she's put out where she's like at the dinner and she's like turning off, and then she's like, I don't want to do that. I'm not interested. I'm not thinking about that. And he's like, oh, well, I just want to know. I just want to see you in pajamas, like when you're not. Yeah. And she's like, but I like being dressed up. I like going out. And he's like, but I want to see you at home and relaxed. And like, there's a lot of girls that like being seen that way is when they feel the most comfortable. That's when they're going to feel the most like cared for. She's like, no, I feel good when I'm she's like, I'm not hanging out in my pajamas. That's not my style. And she's been projecting that the whole time. And I think he has a version of her in his head that's not actually who she is. And I don't see him listening to her.
But I think it's also her job to go, no, like stop and listen.
And I think, I mean, we've seen it in an hour episode. I think, what happened in like, 3 minutes for us happened over the course of a day for them.
Yeah.
I think that she's going to. Do I think she should have gone and slept with Ben?
Oh God,
before being like, Eddie, I'm out.
No.
But also, what are they? They're all like in their early 20s, other than Ben, on this boat.
Whatever.
This is kind of like when she should be making these mistakes. These boatmances are always messy.
Yeah.
And they like, this is where to learn those things.
Yeah.
It's fun to watch them learn these lessons. Yeah. So I'm not like, I don't think anyone's a full villain in this. And I don't think that anyone's like, but you go like, I wish Eddie was listening better. And I wish that she was being more honest as her feelings are changed before she hooks up with Ben.
Oh,
but this season is a good season of Boat Show.
Good.
Oh yeah, and Daisy
watching
for the win.
Them, I am tired. Like when they were like, "Oh my God, we're so tired." It was only Charter 5 or whatever it was, 6 or something, and I'm like, "My God, how many more do you have?" I'm exhausted, and I'm a viewer.
Yeah,
like I can't imagine the work that goes into all of that, and just being so tired. And I know. Right, you can say it's only 3 days or something, but still the work, I'm exhausted.
Well, because it turns into like a 20-hour day.
Yeah. And
you're on your feet the whole time. And you're going up and down stairs the whole time. Yeah. And you're on the whole time. Like that's a lot.
That's a lot.
But yeah, good show.
I
love that you've gotten into the Boat Show.
Yes, I love it. So good.
So good. Okay, so something that Keeley and I had kind of talked about last time before we actually recorded.
Yeah.
And I liked the conversation so much because I learned so much. And it loops into things. It loops into the Maui doctor attempted murder case that we had talked about. And also the Gilgo Beach murders, which we previously had talked about, and just recently that's back in the news because he has finally said, yes, I'm guilty. I did murder those women. Yes. And we have new updates already, and I want you to get into it, but kind of like the step that we're in now. Because usually when we do like you do this true crime story times and you go through the documentary, it's after they've already been sentenced and whatever, but we're still in the middle of not the middle of the court cases, but you have more of an insight into that. So I wanted you to kind of talk about where those are at right now and kind of the updates.
The reason that you watch these trials or you hear about these trials on TV and then say the jury finds them guilty or they plead guilty and then we don't hear anything about them or they set another hearing date and it's, 2 months, 4 months, 6 months out, there's a reason behind that. And the reason behind that is what's called a PSI report. It stands for pre-sentence investigation. And every single person has it done. I mean, it's not just limited to these murderers. It's not limited to these terrible things that we talk about in true crime story time. It's literally every single person that's convicted of a felony. It can be anything like a burglary, right? Or, a theft or something like that, or a car crash, to these serial killers, right? Every single person has a pre-sentence report investigation. And what it is this document that at sentencing, the judge is able to read, and they call it using it in mitigation, which means the judge takes all this information in to decide the sentence of this person. So, right, these serial killers and these murders, each state has your own maximum penalty, right? Life or capital punishment or 20 years or whatever it is. And the state will say, Judge, we're going to recommend the life sentence, or we're going to recommend 15 years. And the defense says, no, Judge. And they use this pre-sentence report. So what happens is the defendant and the defendant's inner circle family, everybody gets interviewed, and the defendant gets interviewed in a way kind of like a psychiatrist, like, how many kids are in your family? Where did you grow up? What was your childhood like? What were you interested in? All of these things. And then they talk to people around the defendant, like, what was he like as a child? You knew him growing up in school. And what did he do? They talk to the coworkers. How was he? What was he like in your interactions with him? And it all boils down to, you hear all of these things, like it creates a village to take care of someone, or, the family. A child isn't born a murderer or a serial killer, right? It's their environment. It's their traumas that they have, that they experience, right? They could find out these people were neglected, or they had drug addicts for parents, or they were abused sexually, mentally, physically, verbally, any of these things. And these PSI reports can be 10 pages, it can be 100 pages. And they use that to tell the judge, he tried to kill his wife with the Maui doctor. This is not real. I'm just for, example.
It's happening right now. They're doing the reports right now.
Right. They're doing the reports right now, but they'll come back and defense will say, Judge, he tried to kill his wife because he had this trauma in his background growing up. The PSI report tells you X, Y, and Z. And the state will say, well, Judge, we have reports that he's been killing dogs and chickens and cats his whole life, right? They have these conflicting ideas in this report. And they also let both sides, community, family, people that they work with, speak in regards to the defendant, right? They're going to let the victim speak, obviously. They call it a victim impact statement. So these victims, if they're still alive, will get to speak. Like in the Gilgo Beach murder, those victims clearly are not alive, but their family is alive. Their mothers, their daughters, right? Their husbands, these people are alive, and these people can stand up to the judge and say, my sister's murder affected our family in this way. And
is that the victim impact statement?
It is.
Okay. That's what that is.
Yes. And then
I saw one that was really good the other day.
Can get up and say, his mother wants to testify, right? He was beaten as a child by his dad. I couldn't get out of this abusive relationship. And all of these sad things happened as a child. And so the judge can say, well, the state wants to capital punishment. The state wants to put you to death. Your attorney says you deserve probation. Based on everything I've heard and read, I'm going to give you 15 years, something like that. Or based on everything I've read, you're going to get the death penalty. So it's super interesting. And that report takes a really long time, all that information to gather, put together, and submit to the judge. This report is sealed. Nobody but the court system can see it, or the parties, they can see it. But it's not like public. I can't go on to Jane Doe's right in Idaho and read her PSI for her burglary. That it's a sealed case. It's confidential. You can't read that. But it's useful. It just takes a long time. That's why you have this huge break in between the time that they're either found guilty or plead guilty to the time that they're actually sentenced. And sometimes these sentencings can take an entire day, or they can take days at a time. If there's like many victims like Gilgo Beach, that sentencing is probably going to take days to do with all the victims. And his wife and his kids may want to say something. We don't know. This affected me in this way, or I didn't know this happened in my home, or, whatever they're going to say, but they could choose to say something also, either on his behalf or, for the prosecution, saying my life was terrible and because of him, or whatever. So that's what that is about. But what I want to talk to you about in correlation to these court cases is there's two different things I wanted to have a little discussion about. Was I have been watching this court case at work this week, this trial that's been going on. I'm a couple days behind, but this trial is in Utah. People in Utah are crazy. These people are crazy. So it is a murder that happened in Utah. So they're husband and wife, and the husband is killed. Okay. The jury trial is about the wife, the wife's brother, and the wife's mother. They all conspired to kill her husband. So that's what's happening. They each had their own little deal. So the wife pled guilty to conspiracy to commit murder. She is now currently in prison. She pled guilty, conspiring with her mother and her brother to kill her husband. The brother pled guilty to conspiracy and murder. He's the one that actually murdered the husband. Okay. And is in prison. The trial I'm watching right now is the mother. So mother-in-law to the victim. And she says, so they're all pointing fingers at each other. No, she did it. No, he did it. Right. Which is what happens. So the wife is in prison and in chains, shackles, gets up on the stands, testifies about her life, testifies, right, my mom is the one that said we should kill my husband, pointing the finger at her mother. Yeah. And the brother gets on the stand and said, yes, my mom is the one that said we should kill him and I should be the one to do it. It's very interesting. You should watch it. But what I wanted to talk about in this trial was, and we've talked about it off camera before, was the wife who's currently incarcerated. I think she got maybe 15 years for conspiracy, something like that. Anyway, she says her attorney is asking her questions about, why didn't you just divorce him? Your mother's been married 4 times. No. She's divorced. She's never killed anybody. Why are you killing your husband? Right? How did this come up? And she actually says, the woman in prison, the wife, says, I have been smoking marijuana since I was 18. And he says, how old are you? And she says, I'm 36. And he says, so you've been smoking marijuana for 18 years? And she says, yes. Okay. And he says, okay, how does this have anything to do with your husband's murder? She says, and this is what I want to have a discussion about. She says, I had marijuana psychosis. That's what made me commit this act. So now you and I have had a discussion about different states that it's legal to smoke marijuana either recreationally, medicinally, right? Just for a prescription with your doctor. My state, Idaho, we don't do that. It's not legal pot at all. No pot at all anywhere.
Here it's medical, but
right.
Anybody can.
Now the thing, air quotes, marijuana psychosis, where she's claiming I've smoked so much pot, I don't remember any of it. And I don't remember having these thoughts. I don't remember planning this. And marijuana is the reason. What the fuck? Like,
wait, she's like, I have, like, basically, like, her memory's been wiped.
yes. Yes.
Okay.
And so people are saying in different states, marijuana should be legal. It's, it's not a gateway drug. You don't do anything reckless or dangerous on it. You can drive, you can do all of these things. And this is why marijuana should be legal. But now marijuana is legal in a lot of states, and they're weaponizing it, saying, well, I have psychosis now from it. I didn't know that I did all these things. It was just shocking.
Well, what's the marijuana law in Utah?
I think it is. You have to have doctor only. It's
okay. So it's like Florida, probably.
Yes.
Okay. I have a lot of feelings about pot.
Right?
And one, I think that it's stupid that people are in prison over it right now, over selling it or taking it or whatever.
Sure.
We need to get that not as, what is it, a Schedule 1? Like,
yes.
That needs to happen. Biden said he was going to review it, and then he didn't do it.
Yeah.
And we know Trump's not going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
However, if you're doing so much that you're giving yourself psychosis, that's a problem. Just like being an alcoholic who blacks out and can't remember things, that's a problem. I can't hang.
What?
I don't care. I don't care if other people want to do it, but I will say I live in Florida. It sucks that, like, I have neighbors that when they're smoking, my whole garage smells like it when I'm trying to do laundry. Like that, that sucks. Yeah. I don't like it that, like, it becomes like a thing. Yeah. I also went to a show and someone was smoking cigarettes inside the building, and I was like, oh, cigarettes in the building. But so maybe that's it. Also, I know that, like, it really is incredibly necessary for a lot of people. My cousin Brandon, he needed that because all the medications that he was on, that was the only thing that made him hungry.
Yeah.
And it was the only thing that helped him with a lot of the pain. 100% Brandon should have that.
Yeah.
Also, if you just want to get high and watch SNL or whatever show it is that you like, go for it. But I don't think people should be allowed to drive if they're on it.
I agree.
And it affects everyone differently, and there's so many different versions of it, and there's so many different ways to partake of it that will affect people differently, that, like, it is so hard to have any, like, steadfast laws about it, right?
I agree.
Because alcohol, there's kind of like a, once you hit a certain limit, this is what your body does. Yeah. And I know that there's people that are like, I'm totally fine, I can drive a car after, like, however many beers. No, you can't.
Yeah.
And I feel like, I don't know. Okay, true story. Des and I, my stepmom, she got these drinks that had, like, THC and, like, microdosing mushrooms. Mm-hmm. She felt awesome. She was, like, totally alert, totally aware. Like, her knees felt good. Like, she was saying, like, in her joints, it just, everything felt, like, really, like, comforted, right? Okay. And she just kind of felt, like, lighter and happy. And, like, she was like, ooh, I just want to, like, dance a little. Like, she just felt good. And I felt like my body was turning into a marshmallow. Oh, God. I felt like everything, like, my depth perception was all fucked up. My dad was rocking back and forth in his chair on his lanai. And I was like, Dad, I need you to not move. Because what you're doing, you're freaking me out. Like, the movement doesn't make sense to me and it's freaking me out. So I felt like sitting there, nothing made sense. I felt uncomfortable and I suddenly got really paranoid and I was like, I need to lay down. I got really sleepy, but also I was like, they're going to poke me. They're going to, like, wiggle me around. They're going to move. What if they're mad at me? Are Dad and Des mad at me right now? I was freaking out. Des having a nice time, not even that affected overall. And I'm like, I think different parts of my body are swelling. And it was hours. Des felt fine in, like, a half an hour, I think. I spent I think like 5 hours going like, this is bad. I think I passed out for a couple hours and then I was like, I definitely can't drive for a while. So everyone's affected in a different way.
Yeah.
I did go to Bonnaroo when I was young and cool, and I did mushrooms while I was there, and mushrooms were great. I've done mushrooms a couple of times, and I really like those. And I think that we should do more research into that. As like depression cures or something,
Sure.
Treatment for that. Or just in general, I think recreationally, mushrooms would be fun. But if you're doing things like that recreationally, you shouldn't be driving.
Yeah.
And if you're doing it to the point that you are blacking out or losing time, that's a problem. You have a problem.
I agree.
And you need to see a doctor and detox and figure that out.
I've literally never heard someone say marijuana psychosis. And I will give you my next paycheck. It's going to catch on. People are going to use it as a defense. The second thing I wanted to talk about that has to do with court stuff is last night I was watching a true crime on, I think, Netflix. And I couldn't decide whether I wanted to talk about it or not, but the idea I want to have a conversation is this man tried to kill this woman. So it's about this, apparently it was a YouTube very live, interesting trial 4 years ago that I never heard about it, but it was an Olympic horse trainer up in New Jersey. And you could obviously bring your horse to him, and he did dressage. So he would train the horse. Yes. Train the horse and train the rider, dressage. And you could leave your horse there, or you could just bring your horse and the rider to his horse farm. Anyway, he met this woman through a friend. This woman had a horse and she wanted to train and ended up bringing her horse to his farm. The horse would stay there. And for whatever reason, she decided to live on the farm, in this empty farmhouse. That wasn't his house. It was a different home. Her and her boyfriend lived there. And so she was there all the time with her horse and this trainer training dressage, and sounds lovely. The trainer and the woman ended up having a contentious relationship over the training, right? She didn't like the training, or he wasn't liking her response. And so they were very contentious with each other. She would go on social media and say not so nice things about the trainer and his girlfriend, or about the farm. And she did this relentlessly on social media, and it would just uptick. The things she would say would get worse and worse and worse. Things like, today's the day I'm going to kill him. Today's the day she's going in the ground. Like, there were threats online, on social media, all of these platforms. She was doing all of these things.
While still living on his property?
Yes.
And still working with him?
Yes. And he had asked her to leave several times. She wouldn't leave. He, on his breaking point, shot her. Went to kill her. Just went over to this home, shot her twice in the chest, shot her boyfriend. Everybody lived. And he claimed his defense was, her social media made me do it. Her posting made me go crazy and made me do it. They found him not guilty.
Abuse.
Not guilty.
Yeah.
So I wanted to discuss that. What does social media have, right, that you as a person could not separate yourself from and be like, I don't care about it. I don't care about it anymore. Where's that point on social media that you're like, I have to do something. I'm going to go this man should have never got a gun and shot her. I'm not saying that.
No, of course not.
He should definitely been arrested. I think he should be in jail personally, but you don't just get to get a gun and shoot someone. You don't get to do that.
I don't know. Reactive abuse.
Yeah.
I think Meredith Marks would have quit. I think that she's not just going on, it's not just the internet. Right?
Right.
She's on his property.
Yes.
She's refused. So that's like the worst case scenario for like squatters, right? So she's squattering.
Yep.
And she's fucking with his business.
Yep.
Like dressage. Do you know how much a horse? I mean, horses are so
he was
expensive.
explaining the money. That was incredible. To do these, you have to do international competitions. You don't get to do a competition in New Jersey and be good. Like, you have to spend 20 grand just to house your horse, to fly it. That's just for your
Oh my God,
horse
to take
fly.
the horse overseas? I don't
Right.
even want to, I
I
don't
mean,
even want to know.
Yeah.
So she's fucking with his
Yeah.
business.
Yeah.
Physically, and then also on the internet. Like,
Yeah.
that's bad. And she's saying, she's
Yeah.
threatening him.
Yes.
I think that would make me feel crazy.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that he should get a gun and do that, but did he try and get her evicted? Did he?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. So like it sounds like he hit his limit.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, it's just, social media is just so upsetting how people do that. And she's on this Netflix documentary going, yep. And you're going, oh, I'm sorry. What do you mean? Yep. Oh. And they had little snippets. I never watched her trial, but they went after her on trial. And she's like, I sure did say that. Yep, I posted that. That's me. And nothing. Just, I don't understand
I
that.
mean, that's like harassment.
Yes.
It's
I don't
harassment. It's stalking.
that. Yeah.
It's trespassing.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think that there are people that feel like, well, I'm just posting my opinion. It's First Amendment rights.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And no, I think that totally goes over.
I agree.
It is, I will say, there's, other things that are happening. We didn't talk about this earlier. Other things that are happening on the internet right now. So the story has come out. Really interesting article. I can't remember who. I'm not prepped to talk about this totally, but there is the website about, basically it's called like Rape Academy.
Oh, yes.
Have you heard about this?
The 62 million, yes.
Right. So there is a guy who I followed for a long time online who I really like his politics. I really like his view on things. I think he's got really valid points, and I like that he's more informed than I am, because a lot of us will not necessarily read the article and then just listen to everyone else's takes that we respect on it and form our opinion that way.
Yes.
That is a problem, but it is also how a lot of us are consuming things right now. And I fall victim to that often. I do try to read as much as I can, but like, let's be honest, I only have so much bandwidth, and I have a lot of reality TV to keep up with as well. So,
and I'm protecting my mental health by doing those
100%,
things that you described.
100%.
So
he got on and made a video and was like, "Hey, this Rape Academy thing, horrific, never okay. Obviously, any number, if it's one guy that's doing it, that's bad.
Right?
It's bad. That's awful." The 62 million, it's interesting that you said that number, because that is how many visits were to that page or site or group within, I think, a month's time. Mm-hmm. So he was like, let's just make sure that we're being clear with the stats here. Mm-hmm. He's like, it wasn't 62 million men that have done that. It was 62 million visits. And he has gotten people freaking out at him who are on his side.
Yeah.
Who he's on the side of. But people who saw him say that and go, it doesn't fucking matter. Why are you sitting here nitpicking this? That's garbage. For you to come out and say, it wasn't... Guys, technically it's not 62 million men, it's actually the visits, so it's probably, maybe it's 1,000, maybe it's 10,000, but it's not, any number. But then he's like, any number is horrible, but let's just make sure that when we're presenting the information, we're doing it clearly. And people are jumping down his throat for saying, we need to be clear with this information. And making a lot of videos, he's getting a ton of hate about it. Ton of hate from people who they're all in agreement that it's horrible and awful, but now they're pissed at him for him saying we need to be specific and we need to be accurate with this information. And I see the argument of like, why are you arguing semantics here? But I also am 100% on his side, because I think that when you're saying there are men that visit websites to learn how to and then post their experiences, including pictures of their wives and videos of what they've done to their wives, where they drug and rape their wives, horrific. But the second that we go 62 million men, and that someone else from the other side can go, look at these women being hysterical. They don't actually know what they're talking about. This is bullshit. It's not actually that bad. They're blowing it out. They're inflating it. They're trying to make this into a problem that it's not. It's not an epidemic. It was only a couple of them. The answer is any is terrible, but it's, I think, in the same vein where you go, I think that like him saying that directed the ire of a lot of these people who are rightly upset by this article coming out and the information that it has in it, instead of directing it in the right, like, does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say here? I don't know. I don't know if you have seen any of that.
I have seen that. I have seen both videos of people saying it's not 62 million men that have done it. I have seen both sides. I have, I guess, an argument for the other way to see it, other than what you just said, not disagreeing necessarily with what you just said, but the other side of it is it's a man. It's a man saying this. It's not a woman. These rapes are happening to women, and this is a man saying it. So this man, how wonderful he is and how much you agree with him, and I appreciate that, and do not discount or negate any of that. That's not anything. I'm taking that out. But he's a man. He has no idea what it's like to be a woman in this society and this culture and function right now with what you just said when you said, now all of these men are turning it around on women going, look how hysterical are they? They're stupid. They don't know anything. That's exactly what we're living in. But I also want to put it to you this way. When someone says, well, it's not 62 million, that's not what we should be focusing on. What I would say to him, your guy that you are referencing, is if I were to bake a batch of chocolate chip cookies, put it on a plate, nice and warm and gooey, and walk up to my husband and go, here's some chocolate chip cookies. And he would go, this is wonderful. This is so great. Thank you for making them. And I would look at him and go, but one of them has shit in it. One of them has shit in it. But I'm not going to tell you which one. Well, I don't want any of them then. Oh, really? Really? So that's the whole argument of when people say, I don't like men. I don't like all men. Yeah. So the difference is my husband's looking at that chocolate chip cookie tray going, I'm not eating any of those cookies because I don't know which one is the cookie made with shit. That's what it's like to live as a woman now. You don't know which guy is a piece of actual shit, is going to treat you poorly, or talks about you right now poorly as a group, as an actual group of humans lumped all together as women. Women are hysterical. Women are stupid. Women are supposed to be used as housing for children and blah, blah, blah. And this whole manosphere, red pill stuff. Yeah. That's how I see the other side to your argument when a man speaks about a woman's issue and goes, this is not the correct information. That's fine on its face. You're probably right. That's not the correct information. But you, sir, in my mind, should not be the one saying that. A woman, maybe, can try and come out and discuss that with other women. This has to do with women, not men, because
Sure.
This,
And
this is what I'm trying to say.
No, I see exactly what you're saying, and I don't really disagree with you. I don't know that he was the messenger for that argument, right? I think I can definitely see what you're saying there.
Yeah.
I think he does, and he has been, and he's not the only one doing this, but he's just the one that I follow that I see. He has been he was like, I went and I read that article. I heard 62 million went. I went, that's fucking crazy. And then I went and read the article. A lot of people aren't going and reading and following up to get the more information. So he's putting out there just trying to be factual, and it's not helpful from him for a lot of people. And I can see why that would be like a problem. I also think that there is also a case to be made for it's a women's issue, like women are the victim of it, but it's a men's issue. Like we've made everything in this sphere like our job to handle. Women need to not dress provocatively. You can't go running at night. Make sure you're checking your surroundings. Why did you have a drink while you were out? Like, did you not think of it? Becomes all of like, you should be taking self-defense courses. Did you call to make sure who had your location? Yeah. All of that shit puts all of the onus on the women. And I still think maybe this is a little bit different, but I also think that we need to have as many men being as vocal as possible. Yeah. That happens. It just happens to be the video where he's like, just to be clear about, for the people that didn't read the article, this is what it says. There's people, that's what took off, unfortunately, instead of the parts where he's like, this is fucking awful. Men fucking suck for doing this. Yeah. If you hear about this, if there's like, you can't let this be a funny thing. You can't let this be something that doesn't get called out in your groups. It does have to be something that men are talking about and calling out within their own communities. Just like I think we had that conversation last week about like, as white women, we need to be vocal about like, you're getting married at a fucking plantation. That's gross. That's gross. Like that's bad. Don't do that. I think,
but it's also how these men present the information. If this man is presenting it like he's teaching us something, or he's in charge of us. Yeah. Like and the way you just said it was different than saying you're wrong, you're reading it wrong, like pointing the finger and calling us wrong. Yeah. Instead of going, I read this. This is the information I saw. Do you have a question? Or, how can I explain what I read? Something different. This is presenting it differently. Men tend to not do that.
No, I think it's really difficult because also I think just as women, we're going to be triggered by all of it no matter what. Yeah. I think he's kind of like gone down. It's like, I want men to speak up. I want men to be vocal about how they're seeing this and kind of putting out there the fight against it and not just putting all of the onus on women for calling it out. Yeah. While at the same time, it's like, it's really hard to listen to you say anything about it because you don't know what our experience is. Yeah. So I don't know. I think, and I think maybe, last week, I think there are probably people that listen to what I had to say and go, you're talking about slavery? Yeah. This face?
Yeah. Agree.
This like Hitler's dream right here is, I get it. It's murky. It all sucks. And, but I think, I don't know. I think having talks about it and communication about it is probably the best way forward. Yeah. But, what a rough pile of shit.
Yeah. Speaking of a rough pile of shit.
What a segue.
What a segue into Beverly Hills is a pile of shit, the season finale. Oh
I forgot my notebook in the office when I was watching Real Housewives, so I had to use the school notebook, so it's my giant notebook. And I realized we didn't talk about it last time, and so the first thing I have written is, I don't know if you can see because the light is just making it very bright, but I just wrote cunt.
please. Let's talk about See You Next Tuesday and how Erika is a double standard.
Yeah.
Double trouble.
Mike, I literally wrote, in quotes, cunt, does Erika own it? And I think it was Dorit that actually said it first.
Actually, it was Camille. Camille Grammer said it first.
No, Dorit said it to Camille.
Oh, okay.
She goes,
oh,
Camille,
right. Camille, you're a cunt.
You're a cunt.
Yes,
like,
that's right.
But she also, okay, and this is going to come full circle again. It's just Dorit saying loud, shocking things as a joke that it ends up going real sideways on her.
Yeah.
And oh God. So I think Erika was very offended. I think that Erika, I don't know. I have so many conflicting feelings. I'm on Dorit's side. I'm also kind of on Erika's side. And I think it's just who they are as people was great. Their friendship was so great and so fun. They showed a montage of their 9 years of friendship, of them like laughing and having such a good time. And it kind of, I think both of them brought out really good parts of them. But the way that this fight has happened, it just happens to have happened exactly in the way that now they're not going to be able to reconcile.
No, I absolutely agree with that.
I think if Erika had stayed in the zone of, Kyle, you need to stay out of the PK stuff and just like chill out. I think that was Erika still on Dorit's side, still friends with Dorit. And then I think Dorit seeing, and I think it's Kyle's fault, seeing Kyle and Erika and Dorit not totally knowing exactly what happened there. She just felt attacked. And so she's like, I'm going to come right back at you just as hard. And Erika being like, I don't want to be part of this. I just want everyone to come back together. And the second that Dorit came at her wrong, Erika's going to fight. Erika is going to go straight into, she can't back down. Erika can't back down. And Dorit is like asking her to back down. I feel like I'm jumping all the way to the end. But when Dorit was like, and you feel good about that, like you have the, like you feel you're okay with the way that you handled not coming to the signing. And Erika is just like, yeah, I feel great about it. I'm 100% secure in what I chose to do. Yes, absolutely. And she's like, you aren't gonna say you're sorry at all. Like, I just kind of feel like Dorit thought that she would attack, and then Erika would be like, yeah, I should have done that differently, but I'm mad. And then they could have maybe like de-escalated together. And Erika's like a wall. She's not going to de-escalate. Like, she's hit a point and she's not going to come back down at all. Even though for some reason she's put up this wall that's not helpful.
I saw Erika know that she was in the wrong, and she put up that wall, and she can't back down now. She can't go, oh, I'm going to backpedal and say I'm sorry in front of Kyle, who I chose literally in front of you. That's what I saw Erika doing. I saw Erika going, I fucked up. I can't back down now. I can't get out of this. So I'm going to push harder and go harder. Erika I'm done with Erika. I'm not a fan anymore. It's over for me. I'm so disappointed in her. She has nothing. Erika has nothing to go on in my mind with Dorit. When they were in Italy and Dorit was like, Erika, please stop. I'm talking to Kyle. When Erika is using that saying, you know, you told me to shut up, you shut me down, whatever the words she used when we were in Italy. I think at that point, Dorit was still very good friends in her mind with Erika and could feel comfortable enough to go to Erika, go, please stop talking. I'm talking to Kyle right now. That's what you do when you feel comfortable with someone. You can go, please stop. Give me a second. That's what Dorit did. And calling Erika a cunt telling her to shut up, which she never did, and then leaving them in the town. These are the three things that you're clinging to so hard that you act like that. That is stupid. That's nothing. She has nothing, especially how Erika treated everybody else however many years ago with this whole Tom Girardi stealing the money from these victims thing, where she was screaming at Sutton, or what, what about the victims? Who cares about the victims? Like, that person is the true Erika. This person that has come out is the true Erika. She was never Dorit's friend. I don't ever see that Erika has 2 feet to stand on with Dorit. Dorit didn't do anything. Dorit thought they were friends, and now they're not, because Erika suddenly, silently, behind closed doors, picked Kyle for whatever reason, and now Erika can't get out from underneath it. So she's going to dig her heels in even deeper, and this is what it looks like. And it's disgusting and gross. And then Erika goes on Watch What Happens Live and jokes with Andy about Dorit calling her a cunt, saying, oh, that was funny. I like the word. I wore it on a necklace. Are you kidding me? The whole basis of your friendship being ruined is because Dorit called you a cunt, and now you're laughing about it on Watch What Happens Live? You're gross, Erika. Shut up. Like, this is why I'm done. No. And when was it ever that they were a trio? Erika, Dorit, and Kyle were never a trio. I don't remember
seeing them together.
No.
I remember, I think Erika and Kyle have been friends. Yes. I think Dorit and Kyle had their friendship, and then, like, it was 2 different, it wasn't a throuple.
No.
They were all in their own
But
thing.
The other ladies, especially Sutton, are making it out that the 3 of them, this trio, is now ruined. They were never a trio, Sutton. Mm-hmm. Like, there was weird implications of that, and I don't agree with that at all. I think
that was just Sutton feeling left out.
Oh my God, Sutton. Anyway.
I want to like Sutton so much. There are parts of Sutton that I really, really enjoy. And then she just fucks it up.
Yep.
And you're like, what are you
doing?
Sutton, I want, just be real. And oh God, Sutton. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So the fact that Erika went to Sutton's, and then every single person, Rachel, Zoe, Sutton, Kyle, everyone's like, you need to let her know. Like, and for some reason, Erika, it was when they were going and getting gelato that Erika was like, you 2 need to get this figured out. And then Dorit gave her the attitude back that she was also giving to Kyle. And that was suddenly like war for Erika. Yep. And she's like, and that sucks. I don't know what exactly it is that it triggered in Erika.
Yep.
But like from that point on, she's like, yeah, I'm fucking done. I will say what I do respect about Erika versus Kyle and Sutton in all of this is when Erika goes, I'm done. I'm pissed. I'm not coming to your thing. I'm not going to text you about it because I don't fucking want to. And then they go to Kathy Hilton's thing. And even when she was at Sutton's house and Sutton's like, I would love to be a fly on the wall. And Erika's like, like she doesn't really respond to that. When Erika's like, I'm done, she's fucking done. It's bullshit, but she's decided and she's stuck there. And as an Aries, I respect that. And I just think that everyone's like, oh, she's going to be mad. Is she here yet? Is she coming? Do you know if she's coming? What's going on with that? I would love to have known. How did that thing go? Kyle's asking every single person, how was the book reveal? How was the cover reveal? How did it go? Erika, they're like, she turns to Erika and goes, I wonder, is she coming? And Erika goes, I don't know. I don't care. Mm-hmm. Like, don't ask all the questions. If you want to know how her book signing went, you should have fucking gone.
Yep.
If you're not going to go, then you didn't go, and you say, I did like that Kyle said, I heard it was a success. I want it to be really good for you. I thought that was a kind gesture. And I honestly think that Kyle had every right to not go because it was almost her daughter's wedding. So at one point, Bose was like, you couldn't come for 30 minutes. It's like, do you know what traffic is like in LA? I don't blame Kyle for not going. I do think it was shitty for Sutton to not go. I think it was deeply shitty for Erika to not go. And the reason I think that is because even Erika says I think of my Broadway thing. I think of my Vegas thing and how she came and supported me. And she couldn't go to a fucking book signing down the street.
When Amanda Francis, who the entire world hates, Amanda Francis sits down, looks you dead ass in the face, Kyle and Erika, and goes, yeah, I have no reason to go to this woman's party. She made my summer horrible, but I want the best things for her. I want her to have financial freedom. I want her to have something where she earns her own money. I want that good feeling for her. I'm going to go. Amanda fucking Francis says that. And these women they don't pick up on it like, you should have gone because of these reasons. You're not mature enough to go, this is my friend for 20 years, my friend for 9 years. I can't want something good for her. I'm going to be immature and a total fucking brat and not show up. Amanda Francis is saying that. The entire internet hates this woman. And I'm like, thank you. I just wanted to clap and be like, thank you for doing and saying something right for once to these women. I couldn't believe it. And Kyle's just like staring at her. And I'm going, okay, I'm done. I'm done with these women. Get them off my TV. I would rather watch Amanda. And that is saying something, because if you cannot be mature enough and understand your friendship for however many years to go for 5 minutes, I don't care that it's LA. I don't care if it's Tokyo. You can figure out a way. You have the financial means to go for 5 minutes. 5 minutes. I don't care if it's your daughter's wedding. Go for 5 minutes and support your friend. You're not her friend. And now she knows that. And that's fine.
Well, I think there's also the obligation of the show.
Sure.
Right? Like, a lot of these women wouldn't be friends if it wasn't for the show, but also you're basically in business with each other.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, Real Housewives is a business, and you go.
Yeah.
You go.
How many times have you and I talked about that? When these women have blowouts and then they go on these international trips. We're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
But they do it.
It's because it's your job. It's your job. And yeah, I am so irritated at Sutton. But then there's also part of me that, like, I really have been pulling for a Sutton Erika friendship. I hate that it's like I wished it into existence, but then it's like, but be careful what you wish for, because now they're both assholes.
Yeah.
Which they were already assholes, but like, it's like, come
exactly.
on. But in this basic thing, I want you to be good.
I was just a little disappointed that Rachel and Bose at Kathy's party didn't step up a little bit for Dorit. Amanda fucking Francis, one more time. Let's say it again. Said something to Kyle. I want the best for her. This is why I showed up. That's all you have to say, Bose and Rachel. But I know both Bose and Rachel said this isn't the right time. I'm not going to speak up. This is, about them.
Well,
and I don't.
We've
feel
seen how
comfortable
these
doing
Hilton
that.
sisters roll deep, and they're on Kathy's turf,
and that's fine. But I was a little disappointed. They couldn't say anything. Amanda said something, and these women didn't say anything. I mean, I get it, but as a viewer, I was a little disappointed in them not doing anything about it.
When Kyle kind of is like, somebody back me up.
Oh my Lord.
And the whole point, like, Dorit's like, I'm upset because you're bringing all these people into it. And she called it gossiping.
Yes.
Maybe it's not technically gossiping.
Yeah.
Maybe, it's whatever. You're bringing all these people. I want to have a conversation with you about us. Mm-hmm. And Kyle refuses to do it. Yep. To the point that she's like screaming at the Theo and Grace party that she wants people to back her up. Someone back me up on this. And it was like, okay,
no.
it's not ringing true. I don't feel like Kyle is, they're just, everyone's refusing to hear each other and meet each other. And if that's how you're going to do it, then like, why are you on this fucking show?
Yep. Exactly.
So I don't know. They're not going to get rid of Dorit.
No, they're not
Right?
going to get rid of Dorit. I was not sad and very unimpressed in Kyle's confessional when she's going on and on about this has been a really hard year and I've had my ups and downs, and people say when you're going through a divorce, you know when you know to pull that trigger.
I wrote about this.
Let's look at that for a minute. Mo,
I want you to talk to me.
Is going out and having however many romances with these 20-year-olds over and over and over, has clearly left the relationship. But Kyle is waiting for her aha moment to pull the trigger to divorce this man that hasn't had an interest in her in 4+ years. Makes zero sense to me, and I do not feel bad for her. But in the same breath, she says, when I'm done in a friendship. Are you kidding me, Kyle? Are you kidding me? I don't feel sorry for you. Stop crying.
Is it I interpreted that as like, is she saying that like breaking up with Dorit is like the practice for pulling the plug on her marriage? I was like, what the fuck is your point here?
Right.
And I know that we're going to see that Kyle says like the agency belongs to her.
Right.
And then Kathy's like, does Mo know this? So
yeah, we don't know what that's about.
What is going on?
Yeah.
I don't understand. And I don't want everyone to have a contentious, awful divorce, but like none of us understands what the fuck she's talking about. Like, how are you, you're not getting divorced, but also you're rich, but also his business is your business. Like, she started it with him. So is it all hers? Like, is it all in her? Somebody said something about like, it's in her name, but he's the face of it.
That's what I was going to say.
But like, we don't see her doing stuff. Like, we see Mo. Mo was in the Valley Persian style.
Yeah.
Working with Mercedes as like her mentor, because he's in charge of the agency and she's working for the agency now. And this is like huge and prestigious, and he's also doing it in like the Arab Emirates or something. And like, we don't see Kyle working at the agency.
No.
So how does any of that, tell me about that. Kyle, tell us something.
Yeah.
Tell us something.
Right. Because if that were true, if the agency is in her name and she owns everything, of course he's not going to want to divorce her because he's not going to have it. She's not going to go, okay, you can have it. Bye. See you later. Mm-hmm. She's not going to do that. She's not going to do that. She's not going to give it to him. So it makes sense now. This is why it's been drug out, because it is in her name, and maybe part of this contract is, right, she doesn't work it. She doesn't have anything to do with it publicly. She's not the face of it, right? He's going to claim it as his. Maybe that's part of their deal. But if they get divorced, right? She's not going to hand that over.
Well, clearly not.
Right.
Also, like, she has a different kind of divorce, right? Where it's more amicable. The separation, we should say not divorce, but separation is more amicable, and like they're remaining on not negative, awful terms, right?
I don't know why Kyle
maybe possibly. Who knows?
Victim or something. I don't understand. If she's in this lesbian relationship with Morgan, go be a lesbian with Morgan. Please stop whatever this is. Just stop.
I feel like
divorce him and move on.
I thought she and Morgan had like broken up, like it was done.
She just bought a house in Tennessee. That's where Morgan lives. Hello, like
Tennessee is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, I don't know. I think, and what I talked about it last time. Kyle is interesting when she's being real, which we're not getting, and when she's having fun, which she's not doing. She's pouting everywhere.
Right.
There were a few times that she was having fun this season when they went to Sedona shopping. I loved watching her shopping in Sedona.
Or the Hamptons, yes.
Or the Hamptons, so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
But then her being a pissy bitch at Rachel Zoe's birthday.
Yep.
Her being kind of an asshole.
Yep.
At her niece's thing. I love Nikki Hilton's very, like, chill, like, you guys are still fighting. I'm changed. I'm going to dinner now. Goodbye. At this, like, massive event that she had. I thought, the whole thing is, does Kyle have a place there next season? Probably, but, like, I don't know that, can this show continue? With how this is going. I don't like this. Are we going to be able to move on from this? Maybe this is the breaking point. If it's the breaking point, then we need to break up from the show.
Yeah.
Like, we need people to break up because it's the same thing that happened in Vanderpump. You can't have, I'm not saying that Ariana should have been filming with Tom, that she needed to do that.
Right.
But you need to not be on the show anymore.
Right.
The show's done then.
Agreed.
Like, if we have this massive fracture, then the show's done. While at the same time, I would watch a show where it's just Bose and Rachel Zoe.
Yeah.
Like, Bose was like, ooh, Rachel Bose.
Yeah. Right.
And they were, like, getting together. I love them together. I would love to see Erika and Sutton be friends, which even Erika was like, I guess hell froze over because I'm at Sutton Strat's house for some reason. I want them to connect. They have so much that they could be friends about. I don't want to have Amanda there. I want Jennifer Tilley to just be constantly on the screen.
Yes.
Jennifer Tilley makes me laugh so much. I feel like she's a good friend, but also she is exactly the kind of fun that you need. Like, I need an injection of fun and I need an injection of good friends. And we're just getting turmoil.
Well, in some ways, she's super relatable too. Picking up a Tums off of a floor and eating it in public, I would fucking do that. Or making fun of your friends and laughing about it and being like, yeah, I do that. Like, she's so relatable in those ways. And her talking about her body, right? When she was saying it jiggly or squishy or something, when she was taking thirst traps, like, all of that stuff is super relatable. I want to see her all the time. All the time.
Yeah. And I think Rachel Zoe is also a perfect example of, you can have drama, you can have tension, you can have these like issues happening in the show. She's being a good friend to everyone.
Yes.
She's also going through personal struggles. She's also supporting her friends. Mm-hmm. They're going on adventures together. Like, she's not getting into the shit, but she's also a major plot point of this season.
Yeah.
Everyone needs to follow her lead.
Yes.
Yeah. So Rachel Zoe is perfection on the show. Jennifer Tilley, perfection on the show. But then our main, like, anchor people, Erika, Kyle, Dorit, something's got to give, because we can't do another season like this.
No, absolutely not. Can I tell you the other reason why I'm done with Erika is when Erika says in her confession, maybe PK wasn't wrong. That made me sick. Absolutely sick.
Like that.
She goes, I can't believe I just said that. She did say that, but you said it because you're thinking it, and that's what you believe. That's not okay.
I don't think she believes that. I think she and Dorit both go out of the way to say the shocking thing. To, like, just to make a point. Like, even though they don't necessarily believe it, I don't think Erika really believes she's totally in the right. I think that just like her, what am I working on in therapy? My self-perception. I think Erika's self-perception is, she's a stone cold bitch. She's above it. She will put up a wall and be done because that's how she is. I think that that is how she perceives herself. So even though, like, at this point, she can't go back because this is who she is, you know? Yeah. I think that Erika knows that she's not really in the right for this.
Yeah, I agree.
But I think Erika doesn't feel like she can back down. Dorit, I think that Dorit is in the middle of chaos right now. Mm-hmm. And I think that she feels very strong. She found her voice.
Yes.
So she is going to be loud and she is going to be big and she is going to be intense.
Yes.
Because she feels like she finally can.
Yes.
But she hasn't done this before, so she hasn't dealt with the consequences of it. So I think she is alienating some people. I think she is frustrating some people. And I think a lot of people would give her a lot more grace if she wasn't on the offense so quickly and so strong with everyone. And I think that that's where Kyle is like, this is this big change in Dorit where she's not used to this from her. And Kyle's not willing to give her the grace for it. And I think at this point, Erika feels like she crossed a line, isn't going to give her grace for it. And I'm hoping that, because you watch her talking to Bose afterwards, you see her in how she talks to Sutton afterwards, which I don't blame her. Mm-hmm. Sutton, yeah, I want to like Sutton, and Sutton's being such a fucking
walked right
self-centered
up
asshole.
That scab and scratched it. And that's what she did.
Oh,
Sutton.
right. She did it at the birthday party twice. Yeah. And then she's like, my feelings are hurt. I need it addressed.
Yes, we know.
And you're like, is your feelings really that big of a deal? Why is Dorit the one? Like, why are you going after Dorit? Yep. You've already said that you have a bigger wallet than her. Yep. You've already said that you see that she's having, spinning out from her divorce. Why are you trying to hold her accountable right now? It's so fucking pointless. Yeah. Sutton, you're like, her kids are having problems. Well, I just took my kid. Do you need everyone to pay more attention to you? Yep. You just need more of the attention. That's not the person to ask for that attention from. She should have gone to Kyle and been like, Kyle, I am fucked up about my last kid leaving in college. Yep. Like, you just did it. Yep. Why is that not a conversation that she and Kyle are having? Because Kyle can't shut the fuck up about the fact that she's mad at Dorit. Right.
Agree.
That's what this is.
I agree.
I'm just, we're spinning in circles. They're chasing their own tails. We need to be done.
Yeah.
We need to be done.
No, I agree. And here's the thing about, Dorit overwhelmed, going through this divorce, being loud, speaking up for herself and all of that. Here's the thing. As a person who went through that, as a person who was not treated correctly in their first marriage and did a little bit of that, was like, I'm taking my life back. I'm taking my choices back. This is how I am. This is where I stand. When you're doing those things in the moment, you are not thinking about, like you said, these consequences and of these things that you're doing and you're saying. Do you know why? Because you're not going to let another human being tell you how to live, breathe, work, feel, be ever again. Never. I don't care if this person is your friend or your ex. You will not let another person do that to you or say those things to you again. And your head is not going, well, I shouldn't be that. I shouldn't say those things because they're not used to me talking that way. It might ruin our friendship. You're not thinking that. You're thinking, sure, I've taken my life back. I have found my voice. I'm independent. I'm stable. I'm financial. This is what I'm doing. And I don't care who knows. And I don't care how you feel about it. And then years go by afterwards and you're like, well, this is not how we handle things, because now I'm however many years out of my divorce. Now I'm got this beautiful house and this beautiful job and my kids are doing wonderfully. And you can kind of settle into your life. Dorit's obviously not settled into her life. But my point is, Dorit is not thinking about these consequences of doing these things to her friends. Dorit's just thinking about herself, which I appreciate as a person who went through divorce, going, I'm not going to I don't care who you are, tell me I can't have something. Tell me I'm not allowed to do something ever, ever, ever again.
Yeah.
And that's where she's at. And I can see myself in Dorit, relate to Dorit, know that that's a real thing, but I don't fault her for any of that. I don't fault her for how she's acting. I don't fault her for what she's saying, because she is taking back her life and being in control of it and standing up to people and saying, if you don't like it, fuck off, right? Who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares?
I think that it's...
And
I
you
think
don't
a lot
know
of-
what it's like until you go through it. That's just all I'm saying. You just
Sure,
don't.
absolutely. I mean, I think a version of it is like people pleasers who go, oh shit, I'm a people pleaser and I have to like dismantle this.
Yep.
Like on a smaller, different version.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
like, there's like that super intense resentment of anyone asking anything of you.
Yes.
When you're like, oh, I say yes to everything and then I
Yes.
get taken advantage of.
Yeah.
And then you want to say no to everything.
Yes.
And I feel like that's kind of where Dorit is,
Yeah.
where everything feels like an attack.
Yeah.
And to be fair, Kyle is orchestrating an attack.
Correct.
So that's very valid.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's like, but I saw Kyle talking to you and you and you. And so you're all doing it. You're all, she was like the lion's den. No, you're all cowards. You all are a bunch of bitches. And I see why she sees it that way.
Yep.
And I get it. I think it sucks because I think if she was in a different place, she wouldn't react that way.
Right.
But like, if you're Erika, you should be able to see
Right.
why she's spinning out.
Right.
And you don't go, but not to me.
Right. Exactly.
You don't do that
Erika,
to me.
who coped with her spinning out with drugs and alcohol. Dorit, to our knowledge, is not coping that correctly. And I think Dorit or Erika, like you just said, should know a little better and go, right? Not looking at her going, but to me, like you just said, no.
Like, you don't
Erika,
get to do that to
you
me.
coped with drugs and alcohol. So you just back off a little bit. Just stop.
Yeah. But again, I think who Erika is, Erika won't allow herself even if she's in the wrong.
Sure. Oh, agree.
And that
Agree.
sucks.
Yes.
It sucks.
Big time.
So I don't know. And I think Kyle is just self-producing.
No, I agree.
Kyle is just trying to put the blame on everyone other than herself, refuses to hear what Dorit's saying.
Yeah.
They did do the like follow-up things.
Like the little afterwards, what's going on with their life now kind of thing?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
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 So the ones that I did want to talk about, Bose is going to do one more round of IVF.
Yeah.
And she's also doing her 2 weddings.
Yeah.
I want her to be happy so bad. I want her to get what she wants so bad.
I know.
But like, has she been around a baby lately?
Why does that matter though?
You could not. She has a daughter who's like in high school about to go to college.
Yeah. Yes.
You could not convince me. I have kids in middle school right now.
Yeah.
You're that far out of it. I would not tap into it.
Sure.
I mean, I get it in some ways, but also I'm like, Bose, how bad do you really want? Like, why? Why do you want it? Do you want it?
Mm-hmm.
Or do you want it because you think Keeley wants it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Not you, Keeley, her fiance.
I know. To have someone who shares the same name and I'm not a huge fan of his is a little upsetting to me. But
yeah,
I think she maybe could get through it with however much money she has. Like she could do a night nurse and she could do all of these things and have 3 nannies and maybe not be affected like you and I would just be doubling up our, antidepressants and our mood stabilizers if we had to have another baby at this point. So I'm just too tired. I can't function with no sleep. So
I
don't know.
I
know.
And then I should have looked it up. Apparently Rachel Zoe has a new boyfriend. She made it like
does? Oh my god.
It said that she debuted her new relationship.
Oh.
And then Instagram. Erika has her new boyfriend, which I will say I was thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
And the picture that went out with her on the second date with John. And then she showed John while she was at the garden party.
Yeah.
And he's actually like quite cute.
Yeah.
I thought. For like an older dude.
Yeah.
I thought he's like a good looking guy. And I am happy for that for her. But when Dorit was like, well, you didn't tell me about this. And she's like, well, no one knew about that. And then I was thinking about it some more. And if she was in a relationship that was serious enough that there were multiple domestic assaults involved and no one knew anything about it, I don't know that she would have told anyone about John had it not been leaked by the press. Because like the pictures that got leaked, she was like in no makeup and they had just gotten a pedicure. And so when she did debut him at the little garden party, not little, but that over the top garden party at Kathy Hilton's, that was like a huge deal because she's like, here, I'm going to call. Do you want to meet my friend John? And him going, oh, hello, love. And I thought that was very sweet. I'm not off the Erika train yet. Part of me really thinks, I know that we're about to watch the reunion and I know it's going to go bad.
Yeah.
I think that Erika is redeemable still. I think that she can turn this around. I want her to get this figured out and worked out.
But why is it a double standard that Erika doesn't have to share her life on a TV show that we are watching as viewers, but then gets mad at Dorit for the same exact thing? And so does Kyle for not telling her things, right? Or whatever is going on. That's not okay in my mind as a viewer. You're on a show.
Sure.
And unless your child is underage or of, a different parentage and not allowed to be videotaped, right? Sure. Or this other person signs some NDA and says, I refuse to be taped, but you can talk about me. Like, why does she get a pass? She shouldn't get a pass at all. I don't care if it was her second date. I don't care if she wasn't telling anybody. You are on a show, a reality life TV show. And you're expecting this from other cast members, but you're not doing it and getting upset when these other cast members are not doing it for you. And Kyle's the same way. We weren't allowed to say Morgan's name for a whole year. Like it, as a viewer, it doesn't set well with me, and I'm done. Right?
Yeah,
you can't have it like that.
No, I think that you need to have fair standards of like, hey, this is where I've come. I think everyone has a right to say this is where I'm going to draw the line. Right. I think everyone has a right to say, I'm not going to show my kids or I'm not going to talk about my romantic relationships, or I will talk about it, but I'm not going to say their name and they don't want to be on camera. Like all of that is fine. I don't want to talk about my health. Mm-hmm. You have a right to say that, but you can't, I think you're 100% right. You can't then point the finger at anyone else and be like, you have to talk about XYZ.
Yeah. No, agree.
But also I don't think you get to dictate what other people are going to share either.
Right.
So, and other people don't get to tell you what you are and aren't going to share. And here's the thing is some people are going to feel comfortable sharing some parts and other people are going to not feel comfortable about that. But the second that they're in a public eye, how much do they have to show us?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people like you and I are viewers that go, I want to see everything, but like, I get if you're not going to show XYZ.
Right.
But the second that that we break the fourth wall because of it, and then it like becomes a point in the show, like it's exhausting and it becomes less interesting to me.
Yeah.
It becomes less interesting to me when like I can see in the news what's going on, but you won't talk about it.
Yeah. Yes.
Kyle and Morgan. Agree. I can see you in her fucking music video, but you aren't going to talk about the relationship.
Yeah. Yeah. Agree.
you can't ask that of us as
Right.
as a viewer. You want me to put the blinders on? That's not fair.
Yes.
That's obnoxious.
Yes.
So
that's all I'm saying. Yep.
I can't find Rachel Zoe's boyfriend on the internet.
Oh,
I'll have
okay.
to do a better deep dive later.
Okay.
I'm excited about this reunion. I think it's going to be rough.
Oh God, yeah. Super rough. Yeah, no, I agree. And Dorit is not going to let anybody. Nope, she's going to stand on her 2 little feet. And this is what I appreciate about Dorit is she's not overly emotional, screaming and crying and wailing and doing all these things. She is very matter of fact. This is what we're doing. She's trying to redirect people and be like, I just want to talk about X, Y, and Z. I don't want to talk about everybody in the room. Like, I appreciate those things where before, she's 100%. Using the C word and a little intoxicated and saying all the, you know what I mean? Yeah. Saying all these things, trying to be funny. And she's not looking for attention that way.
No,
I appreciate that.
I think she has higher expectations for her friends based on this is you and I are both like identifying with parts of her.
Yes.
What am I working on in therapy is that I am a people pleaser. And then that leads me to having inauthentic relationships with people that I care about, and also leads me to feeling very resentful and doing too much, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to work on that and fix that. And I think what we're seeing from Dorit is she's overcorrecting.
Yes.
She's going way too hard. And I think that she's like, I'm going to stand up for myself, because she hasn't been standing up for herself. Yes. And now she's like a bulldog.
Yes.
But it's like, that's jarring for people. And also it is hurting relationships because she's maybe going harder than she would have if she wasn't in this spot. I mean, I've already made this point.
Yeah.
But I think that as someone who's like sorting through these things and trying to figure it out, I think she's just in the beginning stages.
Yeah.
And she's got so fucking much on her plate.
Yeah.
She's got so fucking much on her plate. And it's not like Dorit hasn't always been kind of aloof and a little bit vapid and kind of annoying. Mm-hmm. Like she's always been late. Mm-hmm. She's always been a little like off in her own world. Yes. And it's about fashion and
yes.
You're like, no, pay attention to what's going on in the room. And she's like, but look at my Dolce.
Yeah.
And you're like, Dorit right here. Like she's always been like this. This is just a more intense version of it.
Yeah.
I don't know. And also everyone gets to be held to different standards because of what's going on in their lives at the moment. And also based on the relationship that they have with each other.
Yeah.
So.
Which isn't fair as a viewer. It bothers me as a viewer. Maybe it doesn't bother other viewers, but that bothers me as a viewer. I find it hilarious that Kyle gets activated from Dorit and starts screaming and yelling and doing things that, she shouldn't be doing, because there's no reason for Kyle to scream, at the garden party. Someone needs to speak up and, the whole party turns around. No reason for that, Kyle. But
well, especially because Dorit's saying, I want you to tell me your problem. And I don't want you to bring everyone else into it. I want to be clear about you and I. Mm-hmm. And Kyle's like, but everyone said, and she's like, did you not hear? And like, Kyle doesn't get it. Kyle does not get it.
Yeah. Yeah. I was a little disappointed with the season finale, because usually I think we've talked about that they go on a trip or something. They've done different endings.
Or at the end, they all get together and do a cheers.
Yes. We've had different.
And everyone was just going off in different directions, pissed off.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And I think like one of the last things that's said is like cute bow.
Oh yeah. I didn't.
Or Dorit says it to Sutton, and then she's like, I didn't mean it. Or whatever it was.
Yep. Bo was like, it is a pretty bow.
I did like the bow. I did like Sutton's outfit. I thought Sutton's outfit was cute.
It's very Sutton. That's exactly a Sutton outfit. Yes.
I liked it. I think, can we talk about outfits really quick? I think Bo's had one of my favorite ones.
The orange?
That orange with like the braiding around her boobs and then the vagina fold in the center. Yep. I loved it. Loved it. I thought Kyle looked really good. I thought Erika's hair looked really good, but I thought that the outfit didn't quite fit the garden party. Like it was too like power suit.
Yeah, I was just going to say office, corporate. Yeah.
Yes. But like I'm a scary boss, which I think was the vibe that she was going for. But
yeah.
I saw a lot of people talking about Dorit's hair.
Oh, and her
like grown out roots.
Yeah, my roots. Yeah.
Actually, this is all dry shampoo. Do you see how like white it is?
I do see that. That's amazing. You need to rub it in, babe.
I need to. I've been doing yard work all day.
Who cares about Dorit's roots? Why is that a thing? Maybe she's going through a Madonna phase, right? I don't know.
Or also like I don't know. I thought grown out roots were like a thing right now.
Right.
I don't know.
I've got grown out roots.
I don't know. Cares? But I thought she looked good. I thought Kathy looked great. I love Kathy. I thought that the outfit that Amanda wore was weird.
Amanda, she picked out 2 pink outfits. I'm like, are we only wearing pink? What are we doing Barbie bubblegum stuff for? I didn't care for it either. Yeah.
She has enough money that she should get a stylist.
Yes. Yep. And if I'm ever going to be on her side, we need to have something else to look at. So come on.
That's like a trap, though, I think also of the first season, that anyone's first season is like they think they go and they're like, I have really expensive clothes.
And then
it's like, your clothes are very expensive, but you don't, you need someone to style that for you.
Yes. Because I told you last week I didn't care about the dress she wore to Dorit's book cover thing and her hair in a claw clip. Like, I thought she could have had someone dress her better for that. That was like, I'm going to go over and have some pot roast and then go home kind of.
But do you know who didn't have a problem with that at all in their first season? Rachel Zoe.
Oh, my
she
Lord.
Is a stylist.
Right.
I am so excited for the reunion just because I want to see moving. I want to see Jennifer Tilley in her Jennifer Tilley dress.
Oh my God, I know. Amazing.
It's going to be so good.
Who does that? Jennifer does that. No, I wear your own face. If Dorit came out wearing her own face, people would be like, no, sit down, go change. Jennifer doesn't. We're like, exactly.
Because it's funny.
The best.
Because there's such a sense of humor to it.
Yes.
That's so good. Yeah, I don't think anyone else could pull it off.
No.
Because it's the exact right amount of self-confidence.
Yes.
That I think. Because wonderful. Because like Dorit doesn't have a sense of humor when it comes to fashion.
Okay.
She's very serious about it.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas Jennifer Tilley is all, when she dropped that bag and she's like, this is a $40,000 bear. And Dorit looked up. Dorit was like
she's going to faint.
You could see.
Yes.
Yeah. She was having a physical reaction to it.
Yep.
And I think that Jennifer Tilley genuinely was upset.
Oh, yeah.
But she also was like, and my Tums. And she did. She picked it up off the floor. And she goes, hold on. I wrote it down because it was so funny. And Kathy's like, did you just eat that off the floor? Yeah. And she goes, I'm sure it's very clean. My friend owned this club. And you're like,
who says that? No, I love that.
Oh, I'm sure it's very clean.
Yep.
Oh,
amazing.
Jennifer Tilley. I love that she was just keeping loose Tums in a $40,000 bear purse.
Right. Amazing.
So good.
So good.
All right.
Well,
everyone gird your loins for the reunion next week.
Yes. Apparently there's 3 parts. So.
Oh, it's another 3-parter.
Blessed be the fruit.
The second one, the first one should be good. The second one is going to be awful.
Yes.
And then the third one, we're going to leave mad.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
When's the last reunion of any show that you've watched that you were like, love it?
Oh my God. No. The answer is just no.
Do we need reunions? Is the reunion helpful?
No, it's just Andy being messy. Andy showing his favorites. Just, that's what Andy does. I don't know. That's my opinion. I don't know. To see pretty dresses. I don't know. I mean, Love Island reunions, right? Like Vanderpump.
Are you watching? I'm not watching it.
I am.
Beyond the Villa.
I am.
Are you watching it? Is it any good?
It's better than I thought it was going to be because I literally had forgotten about these people, like the other half of these people. I literally forgot.
Remember when we were like obsessed?
Yes.
What's the girl that won?
Are you talking with Leah and, or are you talking
the next
Amaya?
season?
Yeah.
Amaya Papaya.
Yeah.
I saw her. Mm-hmm. I didn't recognize half the people until I saw her. And then I was like,
really?
oh yeah, that's what this. Right. Yeah, I wasn't really paying.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't really remember until I saw her.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know that I want to get into it.
There's a whole nother side of Hannah that people are very upset about. A whole nother, like, she's a whole nother person that people are not really connecting with. I love it and connect with it. So that probably tells you something. But she is not the same Hannah. I mean, she is. She's very cute and still wonderful and funny and carefree and always laughing and smiling. She's still that Hannah, but oh boy, there's people are very upset about how she's acting on the show.
Is she messy or like
she's just confronting the boys and that people don't like it? She's confronting Pepe and she's confronting Brian and telling them they're the P-U-S-Y word and calling them out and saying you need to go apologize and you can't even walk over to her. What is wrong with you? And like walking up to them and, you know, uninvited, saying that to their face in a group of the men.
Just confrontational.
Just totally confrontational and then walking away and going, yep, I called him out. And people are not happy with her. They're like, what is she doing? And she's like, I'll go take care of it. If you're not man enough, I'll go do it. And she, holy moly. Yeah, it's wonderful.
Okay.
So it's good. I mean, there's only been 3 maybe episodes of it. Not everybody's, people are kind of trickling in. Like I think the next one, Charlie trickles in, Bella trickled in. Taylor and Clark, I think, are toxic. I really want Clark to get away from Taylor. There's something wrong with that man. I don't know if Alandria and Nick, what's his name? Right? Nick?
Yeah, Nick.
Are going to be on there. I don't know. Probably not. I know Huda's definitely not. But still, Ace and what's her face are going to trickle in. Shelly are going to trickle in. So, I mean, I like it. I'm watching it. It's definitely not as good as obviously Leah and Miguel, but
I love Leah and Miguel.
Yeah.
Alandria.
Oh my gosh.
I love that everything is happening for her.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
She is traveling. Mm-hmm. She is modeling. Mm-hmm. She is getting deals.
Yeah. That's so good.
I would say between her and Leah, those are the most deserving of all of the things. Mm-hmm. I thought I'd see more of Maya Papaya. I think I only saw her in like one thing.
True. It. That's very true.
But like Alandria, everything. I want everything for Alandria. I want everything for Leah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love it.
You should watch it. Give it a shot. You could do, make dinner and have it on in the background and still, right? That's one of those. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's good that way. Once in a while, make you stop and be like, oh, okay, that just happened. And then you can continue folding laundry or something, but you should do it.
I think I will, depending on like what my work schedule's like this week.
Yeah.
The rest of it. All right. Thank you everyone for listening.
Thank you.
We'll have all sorts of fun stuff when we get back. Oh, tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow. Yes.
Is Gilgo Beach final part.
Yes. The House of Secrets. Yes.
There's looks like some big things. So I am going to watch that. Maybe we talk about that next week.
That would be wonderful. We should definitely talk about that. Okay.
Okay, good. All right.
Thanks,
did it. Thanks for doing a podcast with me.
Thank you.
I love you.
I love you.
And we will see you all next week. Okay.
Bye.